Good day, everyone. My name is Alyesha Boucher, and today I'll be presenting on the key regional and international frameworks that protect the rights of persons with disabilities. I'll be focusing on the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, CRPD, the Kingston Accord, the CARICOM Declaration of Petionville, the Guyana Persons with Disabilities Act, and the role of the Guyana Council of Organizations for Persons with Disabilities, GCOPD. These documents guide how our societies should promote inclusion, dignity, and equal opportunities for persons with disabilities. UN Conventions. UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, CRPD. First, the CRPD is the main international human rights treaty for persons with disabilities. Key points I want to highlight. It recognizes persons with disabilities as having full human rights, not charity cases. It focuses on non-discrimination, equal opportunities, and accessibility. Member states like Guyana must create laws, policies, and services to ensure persons with disabilities can participate in education, employment, politics, and everyday life. It promotes independent living, inclusive education, and access to justice, healthcare, and public spaces. So, this is basically saying here that the CRPD mainly focuses on the persons that are living with disabilities, and they do not treat them as charity cases. They have full human rights like every other persons. They should not be discriminated, and they should have equal opportunities and accessibilities like every other person. I don't want to say every other normal person, but every other person that lives without disabilities. Kingston Accord. The Kingston Accord is a Caribbean agreement focusing specifically on disability inclusion in education and social development. Key highlights. This area is basically the Kingston Accord. They focuses mainly on the educational part of persons are living with disabilities. It calls for strengthening inclusive education in the Caribbean, emphasizes teacher training, accessibility of school buildings, and appropriate learning materials. It's basically telling us here that persons that is living with disability must have appropriate learning materials for them to learn, and they must be teachers that are well trained to take care of these persons or children that lives with disability. It encourages government to work with disability organizations, promotes early assessment and intervention for children with disabilities, encourages Caribbean states to harmonize their laws with CRPD. Declaration of Petionville. The Declaration of Petionville is another major CARICOM commitment. Here are some key points. It focuses on inclusive development, especially after crises and disasters. Highlights that persons with disabilities must be included in planning and decision making. Reinforces rights to education, employment, health care, and political participation. So it reinforces the rights for education. They must have access to quality education like every other person that lives without disability. They must be able to work, have a job. They must have access to health facilities. The healthcare sector must be able to deal with them the way they are supposed to be dealt with. And political participation again. Calls for collecting better disability data to support planning, emphasizes barrier free environments and stronger anti discrimination laws. Guyana Council of Organizations for Persons with Disabilities. Finally, the GCOPD plays a key role in representing persons with disabilities in Guyana. They do this by advocating for equal rights, monitoring accessibility issues, providing training and capacity building, support employment opportunities, jobs for them, working with government to improve services, educating the public about disability inclusion, not having them left out of anything. And then we have Guyana Disability Act. Now, at the national level, Guyana's Persons with Disabilities Act outlines legal protection for citizens with disabilities. Main provisions include anti-discrimination in employment, education, and access to services, requirements for public transportation and buildings to be accessible, a national commission responsible for advocacy, monitoring, and ensuring compliance, rights to training, rehabilitation, and community participation. Now, in conclusion, disability inclusion is everyone's responsibility. These frameworks are not just documents that are commitments to equality, dignity, and removing barriers. As a region and as a country, we must continue strengthening policies, improving access, and empowering persons with disabilities to participate fully in society. That has brought us to the end of my presentation. Thank you.